He's actor, comedian J.B. Smoove. Headlines Caroline's on Broadway here in New York City this Thursday, August 27th through Saturday, August 29th. Go to carolines.com for tickets. You got to be cool to wear shades inside, and you got it going on today.
See, that's where you're mistaken. I'm not wearing shades. Shades are wearing me.
Oh, I like
Ow!
that.
I mean, they got to do something. Otherwise, they're going to sit on the shelf, sit on the table all day by themselves.
Do you have a fall guy?
No, you know what?
After Chris Carter's comments, I was curious. Do you have a fall guy? You're a celebrity.
I don't think you have a fall guy. I think, you do have someone who has your back, who will go to a certain extent for you that has your back, but you don't consciously just get into trouble just because you have a fall guy or a guy that has your back. I think you have a team of people who will look out for you, who keep you out of trouble. But that road is a weird road to, designate, say, hey, man, you are the official fall guy for myself.
When's the last time you got in trouble where you needed a fall guy? And who do you make? Who's the first call?
I don't get in trouble like that, man. I think my world, as far as a comedian, is. I mean, I know some comedians will get into trouble, but I think I've been lucky, man, to have a great path. I think my first call, is my wife. If something should happen,
Are you sure?
Baby. But I got my man AB. That's my dude. But that's different. It's a. I think everybody has that guy they grew up with in school, and who you think has your back, who has your back. Who will take care of things for you. But that's a different avenue to actually go down when it's almost like preparing yourself subconsciously to prepare yourself for trouble. Like, I know I'm going to get in trouble, so I got to designate somebody to have my back just in case things go crazy. You know what I mean?
How's it change with your friends when you make money?
It does not change. I think people allow money to change who they are. I think if you're smart enough to take your money and do the right things with it, I don't think it changes you. I think you remain the same person. You just, either it's weird because you expand your circle and decrease your circle at the same time. You know what I mean? It's not even a money thing. It's a status. You are in different parties. You're with different people now. You know what I mean?
But they look at you differently?
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you how it works.
All
when you start to have some success in the business, and you can't get in the party, and that velvet rope is so that becomes your I gotta get past that velvet rope into that party. And when people see you in different parties, you have caught up to them, and you get treated differently. And they click that little rope, and you go through that rope, and you don't have to stand outside and beg to get in, and they see you coming already. Hey, and they start smiling before you even get to the rope, and the rope is already open.
I like
so you don't gotta break stride. Your stride does not break. You walk right through there, my man. Give him a pound, and you keep it moving, baby. Pow!
What's the best party you went to? You've ever been to, where you said, "Oh man." You start to look around and you go, I can't believe I'm here.
Sometimes you get become a part of a project. I enjoyed the Top 5 party. I was in the movie Top 5 with Chris Rock.
Yeah.
And it was cool because, when you work on these movies, sometimes you end up working with a great group of people, and it's a lot of you, and everybody has a great role. You had a great experience doing the movie, and you get a chance to hang out and celebrate the success of a movie. At a party, and I always love working with a good group, and I've known Chris a long time, and the party was just cool. It was a great party, great experience, and we had a great shoot. So in the end, it's kind of like, hey, we did it. You know what I mean? And I was proud of Chris for writing and directing and starring in the movie. That's a lot of hats to wear. That's like 3-4 hats you got to wear.
Yeah, but have you been to the party where you look around and you say, there's that guy and there's that woman, and
you know what? I think it still goes back to you being around great people. And I think it all goes back to the fall guy thing we talked about. I think you put yourself in a certain position to be around the right people, so you don't even think about, what am I going to get into tonight, where I'm gonna need someone to get me out of trouble tonight. You know what I mean? I think.
But if you go to a party and you see like De Niro or you see
Oh yeah.
Clint Eastwood, or like, have you been to one of those moments?
I've been to those parties, man. Hey, I was at the SNL 40 party, baby. Come on now. You're talking about people in the room? I'm talking about people in the room.
Who was in the room where you went, I got to go over, or I'm too nervous to go over?
Prince walked through the after party, man, and I'm going to tell you something, man. Prince walked through that party. I said, man, there's Prince. My wife went crazy. She loves Prince. She loves Prince, man. She saw Prince, man. It was like the world just stopped turning. She dropped a drink on the floor, and I think that SNL 40 might have been the greatest moment, being a writer, former writer of SNL, being in that party made me feel like I was a part of something amazing, and that goes back to the same thing we talked about with the Chris Rock party. I think, working with great people, seeing everybody. I think that class I was there 3 years, 04, 5, and 6. I think that class. Now, looking at everybody who was in my class, everybody's having great success. Everyone is doing great. Jimmy, Tina, Jason Sudeikis, oh man, Kristen Wiig. Everybody's doing amazing. It was a great class to be a part of. And when you walked into that SNL 40 show and that after party, and you're watching this jam session on stage with Jimmy and Taylor Swift and Dan Aykroyd's on stage. It's just like, I'm a part of this, man. I'm a part of this massive machine.
He's JB Smoove, headlining Caroline's on Broadway, New York City, Thursday through Saturday. Go to carolines.com for tickets. When you're on Curb Your Enthusiasm. Well, first of all, when you meet Larry David.
Oh, man.
He brings you in.
Great opportunity to work on an amazing show.
Okay, are you... Set up the scene. So I bring you in. I'm gonna have you audition for Leon.
Ooh, okay.
So you come in, and then how's it go with the audition?
Well, how I like to go into an audition, I tell a lot of actors this all the time. I never go into the room as myself, as JB. I'll have it in my mind who the character is, and I walk in the door as the character, because I don't want to turn it on. I don't want to have to say, hey, I'm JB, good to meet you, and like, now I'm Leon. You know what I mean? I like to come in already prepared and present you the character in a different form outside of the script.
Okay, come in right now. I'm Larry. I just, and I say, come in.
My man, Larry, what's up, baby? Let's get it on. It's improv, right? Anything can happen, maybe. It's improv. I might slap you in the face. I don't know. Let's get it popping. Let's go, Larry.
And then Larry just pauses.
And Larry just smirks. He smiles, and he looks around like, okay, So because it's improv, here's the thing about improv. Improv is just as much. You have to listen as much as you have to give. You know what I mean? And I think listening may be more important than speaking in improv, because you want to know where you're going at. I want to know where you want to go at, and then we'll pick which road to take, which journey it's going to be.
Have you ever gone, because you can ad lib it and take it one way.
Oh yeah.
And Larry can say, no, we're going this way, and you kind of struggle with each other.
Which is what makes improv so fun to watch, and when you know it's improv, I think you have a different level of respect for it.
Craziest episode ever.
Ooh, my favorite episode. See, I have a bunch of episodes. I think one of my favorite ones is
Which one made you cringe? Because I cringe when I watch Curb.
See, I don't cringe. I love the show so.
But
before I got on the show,
way.
I loved it. I was a big fan before I even got on the show.
Okay, most awkward moment.
There is no awkward moment. This Curb is what it is. There is no awkward moments, because I'll tell you one. I'll give you one. Okay.
Right.
Okay. A lot of people say, when let me see, Michael Richards episode.
Oh boy.
One, because it's it was after Michael's incident in the comedy club, which I think was still a smart way of doing it, how Larry did it, to represent, you can't leave him out of a Seinfeld reunion on Curb. You know what I mean? I think it was amazing how he put it together. And I don't think any other character could have confronted him and talked to him about it or been in a scene with him other than Leon. I think that was the smartest move ever.
Were you playing what? How do you process that? Considering Michael has this meltdown,
right?
Spewing the N-word,
right?
And then is Leon different than JB?
No, not in the scene. He's not. Although we didn't, we didn't officially dive into it, but we made it. We hinted, that there was some undertones there.
Did you talk to Michael before the scene started?
Of course, man. He was one of my favorite physical actors.
Oh no, I didn't know if you just go into it like.
Oh, we didn't talk about. Well, you know what? We didn't talk about the actual scene, about what happened to him.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to talk about it a little bit because we're both from the world of comedy and we both understand, the comedy club and working and doing what we do and want to, put out there our style, our stage presence, all the things that go into being a comedian, to get our laugh. We definitely talked about it for a second, You
ever had a meltdown like that?
I think every comic has a moment where we have to step outside of ourselves while we're on stage and say, okay, let me get in control of this room. You can go sideways at any moment, but I think having the improv background, it allows you to almost step outside, see what's going on, reevaluate it, and step back in and gain control of the room and gain control of what you're doing and put yourself in that moment. You got to be in a moment on stage sometimes. Sometimes you can't go by the script.
You can have your meltdown here if you want.
I would love the meltdown right now. I'll tear this place to pieces, man.
Wait, would you melt down?
You don't want to see my meltdown. My meltdown is crazy.
Would the glasses come off in your meltdown? That's what I want to know.
No, these glasses are expensive, man.
Yeah, they stay on.
Yeah, these are called put-on glasses. See? These are put-on glasses. You put these on, look cool. No, matter of fact, no, you got put-on glasses. These are take-off glasses. These are like this. Hey, man, good to meet you, brother. That's take-off glasses. You got put-on glasses because you can't see.
See, that was David Caruso. That was CSI taking off.
Yeah,
that's take-off glasses. Yeah.
A nice pair of glasses are made to take off your face. You know what I mean? You put them back on. So you can't do that because you can't see. You walk into a wall or walk into an elevator shaft.
Right on.
Or a manhole cover's missing or something like that. You know what I mean? There's a difference between those classes. We are two different people right here.
We are?
We're both cool in our own way, but I'm a lot cooler.
How about a cop show?
I think I'd be an amazing James Bond. I think I should be up for the black James Bond, to be honest.
How about we redo Shaft?
No, how about we redo Starsky and Hutch?
And I'll play Huggy Bear.
No, you can't be Huggy Bear.
Wait, why can't I be a white Huggy Bear?
There will never be a white Huggy Bear. That's just not going to happen.
Is JB
like there won't be a black George Costanza, you know what I mean? It just can't work. It don't work like that, man.
There's no black Larry David.
There is, I promise you right now, there is no black Larry David. And I know Larry David very well.
He's JB Smoove, headlining Caroline's on Broadway here in New York City. Thursday through Saturday. Go to carolines.com for tickets. Thanks for stopping in.
Hey, man, you're the man. I'm happy we made it. We made this work together.
I'm glad we did. Thank you.
You stood me up last time.
I know. You got lost.
Yeah. Okay, it was my fault.
You got lost.
That was my bad.
Thank you, JB.